Hi, my name is Elizabeth Somerville, and I'm here to do my educational thinker presentation on Mary Wollstonecraft. I chose Mary Wollstonecraft because I do think that I related to her the most out of all the philosophers that were listed. She was one of the founders of feminism and advocated for women's education. Her views are still used today, making sure that women are well educated and have the rights that everyone else has. She wanted everybody to be equal and make sure that men and women are treated the same in education, in the workplace, in their home life. They all need to be equal. So one of the things that she did, she broke into this male-dominated world of philosophy, and she wrote several novels and books about the rights for women and men. This was major at this time because this was in the 1700s, and at this point women were basically servants to the men in their household. The reason why most of this came about was because of her family. So kind of a backstory about Mary. She was born in 1759 and in London, where her father would take farming jobs, and so they would have to move around a little bit. This kind of made them live in poverty, which made her dad become abusive and drunk, especially towards her mother. There are several articles that stated that she actually slept in front of her mother's door to protect her at night. After this, she wanted to advocate for women because she believed that her mother had the right the same as her dad, and she saw that her mother was a servant and just basically dealt with the abuse just because that's what she was taught and that's how she grew up. So Mary left her house around the age of 18. She started advocating for women, and then she also actually pulled her sister out of a marriage as well. And it was unconventional at the time because if you got married, you had to stay with the person that you're married to. But Mary was a big advocate for this is not how it should be. Women should have the same right as men. If they want to leave, they can leave. So Mary did not have the best education growing up. She kind of learned through her own experiences and just talking to people and standing up for what she believes in. She married a guy named Joseph Johnson, which she actually had a child with. They ended up being married, and then she actually left the relationship. Then she married William Godwin, and they actually had a daughter together, and most people know her as Mary Shelley. She's the author of Frankenstein. Mary Wollstonecraft actually died 8 days after the birth of her daughter. But she still influenced her daughter during that time and still through her work. One of the books that she did write at first was The Vindication for the Rights of Men. This was kind of more of an argument that women needed more freedom, and the abolishing systems in favor of the abstract rights of humans, about the culture and the human nature. Before this, she actually, I forgot to state this, before this she actually opened up a school in 1784 with her sister Eliza and her best friend Franny. They tried to open it for a women's education. It didn't last that long. It lasted about a year, but it was a big influential part of the way that Mary wrote some of her books. Another one that she worked on was The Vindication of the Rights for Women. This is basically an argument for women's education. She claims that women were given the tools to use, like their minds, and instead of what people thought it was just their appearance. They wanted to have every opportunity and take control of themselves and not be considered property. I think that's one thing that she was a big advocate for, was making sure that women were not property. This was something that she really took power of and advocated for every woman today and in the past. One thing that I did want to leave you on was one of the quotes that I found, that another reason why I actually picked her was the fact that she was saying that women not to have rights over themselves, but actually be equal with each other. So this is why I chose her, and I really do still think that she's one of the most influential people in our education system today. Thanks.